You're listening to the March 22nd, 2025 reading of Blossom Goodchild's channeling with the Federation of Light.
Good morning. Yesterday I had lunch with a lovely friend who had an interesting tale to tell. She'd been contacted by a voice, originally, which then went on to further telepathic communications. She was informed that he, was the spirit of her physical body. On further questioning, it had been with her since before birth, even though there was no physical body then. She totally understands that she could just be going a little cuckoo. Yet I know her to be a highly intelligent lady and a very lightened, awake and aware, beautiful soul. Thoughts?
Welcome, Blossom. Welcome each one, once again. You in your world, we being us in no world. This is a wonderful topic to pursue. It is a matter of knowing where to start to keep it all in perspective. Yes, indeed, there is a separate individual from the self, spirit energy, that is the physical body.
Well, slap me round the face with a wet fish and call me Tinkerbell. Who knew?
We shall call this, for explanatory purposes, a spirit energy, for it is not as such a soul energy as one knows themselves to be. It is, as we say, separate from yourself and yet very much sharing the journey with you.
I'm amazed I've never come across this.
You have now, Blossom, as with all things that are presented to one in the divine timing, to be accepted and acknowledged.
So what is its purpose? Is it like a guide?
No, it is not a guide. It is an incremental source of energy that is your physicality. In that the soul, as you have known, has to be within the body in order for it to function and be. The soul is attached to the body by an etheric silver cord. The cord enables you to remain within your body during sleep, and indeed at all times. Once the cord is cut, the life leaves the body and the physicality disintegrates.
Does that mean... Wait, let's call this physical spirit Fred for ease of flow. Does that mean Fred disintegrates also?
No, it returns to source, whereas the physical flesh turns to dust.
So how can it profess to be the spirit of the physicality?
It is its role, its chosen role. Yet, let us make it clear. It is not in the same, would we say, category as the soul that knows itself to be human when upon the earth plane. Fred is more on a vibrational level of the elementals.
Okay, Fred isn't going to work for me now. Fred the fairy, no. Could you give me a name?
Names are not really something we are necessarily in tune with to give out, Blossom. Many names, especially from other planets, galaxies, and indeed elemental frequencies, are not pronounceable in your language. They are of a different sound vibration and not able to be spoken.
As you're saying that, my neck is stretching and my throat feels odd, as if the voice box couldn't form the sound.
Yes, that is what we mean.
So, back to a name. It doesn't feel right to say it. How about Flo?
That will work well for us.
What is the role that Flo plays?
She is the workings of your entire body. Cells, organs, tissues, muscles. Your body is her kingdom. She is there to do her best to make everything run smoothly.
Then what of those who are sick? Where's Flo then?
Doing her best to make one healthy again.
The trouble is, already there are far too many questions whizzing around my head about this, as the concept is so new. Can you simplify this, as in a nutshell?
Blossom, as with your friend, some will, or already do, know of this and are happy to have direct communication with Flo. Others never will, for they do not have it as a necessary addition to their understanding. Everyone, Each one can communicate with their physical friend should they choose, and they will find a connection will be presented.
Many struggle to connect with a guide, let alone chatting with an elemental vibration which is their physical body.
Yet, we would say that much benefit would derive from such.
Wouldn't it be the same, though, as talking to our body, as many of us do, just knowing it is consciousness? Many talk personally to an organ or cell, etc., and send it love to get well.
Yet everything is consciousness, Blossom. Labels and names are for identification purposes. May we suggest that those who receive this message decide for themselves whether to discover a new friend and work together with the same goal in mind, or whether to carry on as they are. Those who give it a try will be pleasantly surprised, for the elemental that is on board with them, playing this role for them, will be delighted to be recognized and work side by side, hand in hand.
Interesting. I apologize for moving on to something else now, yet I know my head is not in the correct space to dig deep today. Anything you want to discuss?
Love.
Now there's a surprise.
You see, Blossom, as you know, this is why we come. For when each one truly knows love, nothing else needs to be discussed.
Yet for us down here, there are so many unknowns that our curiosity desires to know. This morning, for instance, I heard about the Giza Pyramid and the new discovery of what lies beneath it. I think we all know the pyramids were not built by humans, yet this takes it to a whole new level. Things like that we would like to know the truth about.
Blossom, as much as you could argue this point, everyone already knows everything.
Which helps not if we cannot access that all-knowing. And with respect, please don't say we can, because we'd all be at it if we could.
It is a matter of vibration, Blossom. One cannot access this knowledge when not being in the vibration of it. Yet that doesn't mean you do not know it. When you are not within the confines of a certain vibration, which you are whilst upon the earth plane and residing in its vibrational frequency.
Yet apparently when we sleep or meditate, we can access different vibrations, so why do we not get to know everything whilst in that space?
You can, and yet you are not able to bring that vibrational knowledge back with you into your earthly presence, because the vibration of what you know when elsewhere is unable to filter back through with you.
Yet people have near-death experiences and get to know everything, and they do bring that back with them.
Because that information is of a vibration that is able to have the experience recalled. Blossom, if you were to know the answers within your physical, mental, and emotional situation as a human being, well, quite simply, it is not possible at this stage. For it would blow your circuits. We say at this stage because this may not be the case necessarily in the future when your circuitry has been almost completely rewired so that your brains and your entire workings are opened up to the full capacity that they are capable of using. Remember, dearest souls, you have been suppressed to a point of almost shutdown compared to the incredible human beings that you are in truth. The incredible beings of light that you are in truth.
I wonder if you can comprehend how frustrating it can be for us, this not knowing stuff, as the world gets madder and madder. Yet I know what you're going to say. Blossom, you wanted to be here.
Correct, because you did. Each one of you, as you know, were made aware of your mission before you came. You agreed to it. You were delighted and honored to be chosen. You said yes. We would say your application form was accepted because you ticked all the boxes. One of the most important ones being, do you consider yourself to be the strongest of the strong? Others, such as, are you capable of rising above the darkness, no matter how grossly it is presented to you? Can you keep the knowing within you throughout it all that you are love, only love? And will you send that love out from your being at all times, no matter what you discover? We could go on and on, yet you get the point. You answered yes to all of these, and then an assessment was made, and you passed, and here you are, doing the very best that you can under the most darkest of circumstances. We knew you couldn't let the side down. We knew that you have the strength to see this through. And you are. That is why you are here. This in itself is an enormous task. Concentrate on that and its importance. The answers to all the other mysteries are not as important as this mission you are on. It is imperative at this time that you focus on who you are. Love. To know this truth with the very fiber of your being. To know that you are assisted by light beings from all around. For this is no trivial transformation. Assistance is required by all. Dearest souls, march onwards, swords of light to the sky. We have mentioned many times of the imagery of holding your swords to the skies and visualizing them being recharged with light. It is a very strengthening, powerful tool to use. Be prepared for what is to come by keeping yourself charged.
Yes, as you and White Cloud have often said, we would never forget to recharge our phones, so why do we allow our own batteries to run so low?
White Cloud knows what he is talking about.
He does indeed. He does indeed. Well, I shall go back and read all this now and see how it flows in gratitude, in loving service. I am.